The matching piercings, body art, and heroin, not enough to keep teenager Lea Porter's passionate 6-month relationship with Jesse Mai, nearly twice her age, alive.
And I fell in love with her, man. Fell for her hard.
Police have some tough questions for Jesse, who tells them in the interrogation room that despite the breakup, he still had plans to marry Lea in the future.
I told her when I left that if she got help, if she got clean, then I would love to come back and marry her.
Jesse tells the cops he last saw Lea when they parted ways at this motel parking lot just outside Denver. He describes a dark scene, saying Lea was distraught and maybe thinking of taking her own life.
She begged me not to leave. She talked about killing herself. She didn't have anything left to live for.
He says he was heading to his parents in Maryland to get off drugs. She was off to Denver to crash at a friend's house. But right after they separate, Jesse says something weird and completely out of character happens. Lea, the girl who is always on her phone, suddenly stops texting him.
So that first night, I was worried, but not too super worried, thinking maybe she's just mad at me. And then the following day, when Max called me and said, "Yo, dude, where's my sister?" That's when I was like, something bad has happened.
Bad because Jesse says Lea always takes Max's calls, no matter what.
She would stop during sex to answer a phone call from her brother.
Is that right?
It was like that. It caused fights a few times.
So they would communicate how often?
Every day.
Jesse appears cooperative in the interrogation, but admits Lee's family has their doubts about him.
Max had convinced them all that I was not to be trusted. I was the devil.
Back home in Cotopaxi, her mother, Renee, is running down another lead. It's a mom on a mission. Since Renee pays Lee's phone bill, she examines her daughter's call log and begins phoning every number on the list.
This one number kept popping up over and over, and it was Christopher Waide, and I had never heard that name before.
Christopher Waide, a tall and slender 23-year-old. He too is from Cotopaxi and went to high school with Lea, where he was a top student, but was often bullied and teased. He joined the military in an effort to toughen up. Now Waide is taking jiu-jitsu for self-defense. But talking to Christopher Waide only brings heartbreak for Renee when she learns he's been Lee's self-appointed accountability partner, a kind of sponsor to help her stay off drugs.
That was the first time I heard that she had been on the drugs, was from Christopher.
It seems Lea might finally have found a safe place. Christopher tells Renee Lea was with him at his apartment the night she disappeared, but that she left abruptly, without explanation.
He told me that she had gotten a notification on her phone late that night and left.
Christopher Waide says he hasn't seen her since, but this is another man the cops need to talk to, paying him an immediate visit. Westminster Police Detective Matt Calhoun is in charge of the case.
What does he tell you?
They had been conversing back and forth, and he had offered to let her stay at his apartment for a couple days to try and get her feet under her. Just concerned that Lea was suicidal.
Did he seem like he was anxious to help, or?
Yeah, he really was. He really wanted to help find Lea, and he's really concerned about her, and he wanted to do anything he can to help us.
Just like Lee's boyfriend Jesse, Chris Waide is extremely helpful, full of detail and concern. After interviewing these guys, police aren't yet convinced Lea is a victim. It's possible she's just a runaway.
We don't know what happened up to this point, and we can't prove that even a crime happened at that point.
Waide even joins the search, pleading for her safe return online and on the local news.
Tried texting her, I tried calling her, left her some messages on Facebook, and haven't heard anything back from her.
Lee's family is busy too, plastering missing posters all over the Centennial State. Now desperate, they turn to the public to plead for Lee's return.
I don't want anybody to hurt her. I just want her to home safe. She's just a little tiny little thing.
If she's out there somewhere, to please come home to us. We need her. Everybody needs her.
Lee's brother Max is back from California and starting to stew, feeling like the authorities aren't keeping him in the loop.
They wouldn't tell us anything throughout this whole thing. They were really vague.
No sign of Lee and no leads, until lo and behold, Lee is spotted at a Boston market in line for some chicken. She's in shorts and flip-flops, seemingly unharmed or distressed, but with a mystery man buying her lunch.